Spark Pro Release 11 includes the counterexample generator Riposte, developed jointly by Praxis and the University of Bath. When you're performing proof, you typically end up with some VCs which are left undischarged, and you can spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to prove them, or indeed if they're provable at all. Well, Riposte is a proof tool which attempts to determine that these VCs are false, and if they are false, it gives you a counterexample to show you why. So in this example here, we have a function which takes two unsigned 64-bit numbers, A and B, and returns 73 XORed with A times B. And then we have the precondition that A is greater than 17 and B is greater than 19, and the return annotation tells us that the value returned will always be strictly greater than 0. So we can analyze this with the examiner, spark examine file, and we get no errors or warnings, and then run spark simp in order to attempt to discharge the VCs. And we can see spark simp running there. It's run the simplifier and now it's running Victor, and now it's completed. And then if we run pogs to give us our proof summary, it tells us that there is one undischarged VC, and we can look at that VC and it's telling us that the bitwise OR of 73 and A times B mod some very large number is greater than 0. That's what we need to prove from the hypotheses given. And it may be worth noting at this point that 73 is a prime number. You might scratch your head and have a bit of trouble deciding whether or not this is true or false. Well, if we right click here, we can say spark riposte file, and that invokes riposte, which is now attempting to generate a counterexample for this VC. And indeed, here in the messages window, we can see that riposte is reporting that the conclusion is actually false in the case where A equals 156176501430320345777, and where B equals a similarly large number. Probably not the first two numbers you might think of if you were trying to manually show that this VC was false. At the moment, Riposte is an experimental technology preview, so please do try it out and send us any feedback that you may have. So today we have looked at some of the main new features in Spark Pro Release 11, but there are many other enhancements, including full range subtypes are now permitted for all types, which can give you a convenient form for renaming types. The seconds and minutes functions are now defined in Ravenspark. The default flow analysis mode is now automatic. VCs are now generated for package specifications and bodies, but they're only actually used for generic instantiation checks for the time being. And there are many more enhancements besides, so please do have a look at the release note for full details. And as always, if you have any questions about Spark, please do contact us via the usual channels. Thank you very much.